Hello guys, welcome to the Thoughts Party. I hope you are all doing extremely well. We are going to talk about Lauren and Cameron with regards to how they remained focused despite all the negative forces around them. They focused on each other. I just want to tell you that when you do focus on your relationship, it's definitely a breeding ground for continued flourishing, success, and progressive onwardness. From one level to the next, you will both be able to see yourselves through every milestone and struggle. It's really important to hone down focus on each other. Now, we are going to look at 4 ways that you can ensure that you're focused to instill and harbour that flourishing success that every relationship needs to mature, to go from one stage to the next. Number 1, it is extremely difficult. Don't put yourself in this tight corner, where you don't have a good relationship with yourself. In the previous video, I've spoken about self-sabotage. You don't want to have a negative relationship with yourself before going into a relationship, or even if you are in a relationship, especially in a relationship in which you are seeking the hand of God for. You've got good inkling about it. God has talked to you. You have talked to God, and God has shown you that, yes, this is the relationship that will definitely be the main focus in this phase of your life. You don't want to have a bad relationship with yourself. Why is that? Because if you have a negative relationship with yourself where you're not your biggest fan, you have to be your own fan, your own cheerleader. If you aren't that for yourself, at the slightest lack of validation, you will crumble. That is one thing that Cameron definitely showed Lauren, that he is someone that is confident in himself, because he was able to express within, moments of them talking, emotionally connect. He was vulnerable, as I've said in the part 1 of this series. So number 1, if you want to instill a focused, flourishing, progressive, in progressive steps that will lead to fruitful relationship, you need to address your relationship with yourself. Please, you must be able to be emotionally dependent on yourself so that you can be vulnerable to your partner. In that regard, Lauren and Cameron had that right under their belts. That's why they could open up and connect emotionally. Think about most people. On the record, most people do not date the way Lauren and Cameron dated. They don't date emotionally first. So a lot of people down the line, they begin to see that they actually have a lot that hasn't been dealt with emotionally, with their inner child, with their lack of good parenting, dysfunctional families, and sometimes people even come from very good families, good homes, functional families, but they haven't dealt with their own, attention seeking and lack of validation. A lot of people seek validation in others. If you can't validate yourself, if you cannot be your biggest cheerleader, then you need to start addressing that. So we move on to number 2. You need to be able to really be able to pick Don't be indecisive. So number 2, do not be indecisive. This really flows on from number 1, where number 1 was having a bad, negative relationship with yourself before you delve into another relationship, which is secondly with your partner. And number 2, you just really need to be able to clear your mind and really cut out confusion. You're going to have confusion from outside forces. With Lauren, her dad was not angry in a sense, but obviously he had a lot of historical connotations with, slavery in America and the history behind it and the police brutality. So, he didn't openly say that, but obviously he wasn't extremely forthcoming. But Lauren was able to look at Cameron for who he was, and she was able to look past that. And because of her looking past that, she was able to then encourage her dad and tell her dad that this is the man that's truly made her happy. So it really depends on you. Everything is on you. If you present something in a way that does not seem like you're sure, like you're confused, then other people will be confused as well. Even though Lauren's dad was confused, because she presented to her dad the qualities that she has always prayed for, that is within Cameron, that she thinks if she lets Cameron go, that is her God-destined man, her God-destined husband. So, and Cameron also, I might add, he also reassured Mr. Speed, Papa Speed. And, he said to Papa Speed, he's dated an African-American woman before in Love is Blind, and that he hasn't actually met a woman like Lauren that has fulfilled his dream woman. Lauren actually encapsulated that, and he explained that to Papa Speed, and he explained it from the depths of his heart. You could see in his face he was serious about it, and even though Papa Speed said that Cameron seemed a bit too mellow for him, he wasn't what he'd expected from a son-in-law. I mean, slowly but surely, they're now like best buddies, like a father and son, So it all starts with you. If you've got confusion and you're indecisive, you've got to address that. Okay? Because when you're confused, you leave everybody else confused. Okay? And not just confusion. When you are confused, your loved ones become upset and angry. And they're overwhelmed. You know why? Because they see that you're not in your happy state. And it makes them upset and sad. So you've got to not be confused. If you're confused, you deal with it. Don't go and present your partner, your husband, if you're the woman, or if you're the wife, your wife, your husband, or your husband, your wife to be, to your parents in a confused state. Be sure, be clear, be focused, and just stay the course. I mean, you know what you want right now. We've spoken about, qualities and your worth and all of that. So you know where you're heading. Okay, so just take away confusion and indecisiveness, I would say. Okay. And then number 3, I would definitely add, make sure that you both of you have a connective, improving skill or hobby that you both love to do and that you can do it together. For Cameron and Lauren, definitely fitness is their bonding tool. We see them working out and they both enjoy it. We haven't seen it so much recently during quarantine, but we've seen through their Instagram videos how they both enjoy fitness. And as I said in the previous video, the self-sabotage video, it's really important to get your endorphins going. That makes you more of an organized person. You follow through with what you set out to do for the day. And in turn, you can work through it together, because you're able to know, both of your happy points and when your melting points are, and when you're just about to lose it. If you see both of you in a happy state, obviously you'll know the opposite state, what to do not to, piss someone off, and what to do to bring someone joy. So it's important that you both have a skill or a hobby that can bond you both together, that you both genuinely both enjoy doing. So perhaps like dancing, TikTok like they do, or fitness, or pottery, or playing an instrument, something that bonds you both together. I hope that's really been helpful. I hope we can all stay focused, okay? And let's just keep things flourishing in our relationships. And as always, we love Lauren and Cameron. They are such a great learning point for us. As always on the Thoughts Party, really appreciate your comments and your thoughts and your suggestions. They have been great. Just keep them coming, and this is your space to leave your thoughts, your comments, and suggestions for other videos you think might be helpful to you. Thank you so much. Lovely chatting to you. Love you lots. Bye.